everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for an episode that's going to be all about Topps Kids baseball cards. And I'm going to get into both the original Topps Kids set quickly and then some modern takes on Topps Kids, or some ways that I've been sort of recollecting the Topps Kids release. So this set, for those of you that don't know, was released in 1992, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It was a Topps set that was solely aimed at kids and youth who were getting into the hobby. Myself, when this came out during the summer of 92, I was a 9-year-old kid, so it was right in my wheelhouse of interest. Absolutely love these cards. And even though it was a one-and-done release and not terribly popular for understandable reasons in the history of our hobby, I love the set for nostalgic reasons, not the least of which is the amazing, colorful production on not just the cards, but even the packaging. Like, look at this box, this unopened box of Topps Kids. Like, it's just so fun, colorful. They have great comics on the back. Easy set to collect. Again, aimed at kids. 35 cents a pack was the suggested retail price for these. You get 7 cards and a stick of gum, so you're talking a nickel per card, stick of gum, great cartoons on the back. All the stars of 1992 of that day, or all the big players in that era, were represented, and just really, really dig the release. So the only issue with it is it's like 132 cards, something like that. You could even buy one of these unopened wax boxes for probably 30 bucks online and easily complete a set. And in fact, let's open up one pack here just so you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about 2 minutes into the video. Each one of these came with an individually wrapped stick of bubble gum, which is another cool thing that I really loved. And again, just look at the artwork even on the gum wrapper. Just a level of care that I don't think we see Topps or now Fanatics really give anymore towards the hobby. Obviously, there were later products that were aimed at younger kids, most notably Topps Opening Day, which has been discontinued now as well. And I think Topps Big League is sort of the closest approximation to these cards present day. There's your individually wrapped stick of gum. I am not going to chew this. I'm not that guy. But let's take a look at how it's held up. And quite honestly, compared to a lot of 30-plus-year-old gum, this even still has flex to it. It's not, in any way breaking or hard. So I guess that packaging, mold-free, has really kept the gum in good shape. Let's take a look at the 7 cards we got, and man, I would have been ecstatic as a 9-year-old to lead off my pack in the summer of 92 with this one, Ken Griffey Jr., one of my favorite designs. So there's probably about a half dozen different designs, maybe more, that exist for the backgrounds. And so what you get is a photograph of the player imposed on a cartoon background. And this particular design with the bench full of players in the background is going to come back into play in a couple of minutes here when we talk about some modern takes on this set. Here's what I would call the caricature design. So you get the player's head on a cartoon body off, comically muscular body, which was pretty funny in the case of like Barry Bonds, looking back on it. Jose Canseco got one of the more plain designs, just kind of a comic book looking background there. Again, all these players are studs. The checklist was not deep. So in order to make this set, you kind of had to be like a perennial all-star, superstar type player. Here's Tom Glavine, another great design here with some action on the base paths. And let's take a look at the back. I've been ignoring that over the first few cards, but the backs of these are so fun. And they really harken back to like the mid-50s Topps releases, 55, 56 with those great full color cartoon backs. You do get some stats on the bottom, but it's all about the cartoons on these. In fact, I should probably quickly show the backs of these couple of cards because they are every bit as entertaining as the fronts. I mean, look at that Jose Canseco cartoon. Just simply awesome. Rounding out the pack, so Tom Glavine's where we left off. You got Andre Dawson with the hawk in the background. Like, how great of a card is that? These are just, again, so fun and colorful. I did a whole episode on this set in the early days of my channel with this same wax box and ripped open a few packs. But I know many of you I didn't know back then or may not have seen that video. Here's a childhood idol of mine, Jim Abbott. Great card there. Shout out to my buddy Dylan over at Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. And then Jeff Bagwell, the one that got away from my hometown Red Sox. Great prospect, local kid who was dealt away in one of the worst trades in Red Sox history. Went on to have a Hall of Fame career. And this is going to come up in a moment here as well. So let's leave this design out. Let's take a look at the back of the Bagwell. And now let's talk about ways that I've continued to enjoy this set as an adult collector. So obviously, had the complete 132 card set as a kid. When I got back in as an adult, picked up this wax box, was able to hand collate a set pretty quickly with what I had from my childhood collection. So with a complete set and some unopened product in hand, that's kind of a wrap. I mean, what else am I to do, right? Well, there are two different sets that Topps released that are throwbacks to this as part of their Throwback Thursday campaign. So for those who aren't familiar with this, I believe they started this back in 2019, may have been earlier. But on Thursdays, they would release a throwback design, like just a 5 or 6 card set, and they would release it online and printed to demand. However many people ordered, that's how many sets they would print. And in that 2019 Throwback Thursday season, they did a mini set that paid tribute to this design that we see here on the Ken Griffey Jr. card from the original Topps Kids release. Now, I don't have all 6 of the cards. I think I'm missing 2 of them, but here's what they looked like. So this is the Ronald Acuna Jr. from 2019. You can see it is the exact same background, very faithful to the original as the 1992 Topps Kids. And the print run on these ended up being, I think, 583, somewhere around there. So here's a look at the back. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get custom cartoons for all these players. They all have the same Throwback Thursday back. But I love that Topps created this set, and I'd love to eventually collect all 6 of them. At the time, I was picking these up, shortly after release in PSA 9. So I just happen to have the 4 that I have to show today that are all in PSA slabs. Ronald Acuna Jr. Got the Juan Soto. This is a big card. That's a second-year Juan Soto card. So a sneaky, tough card there. Of course, his rookies came in 2018 Topps update specifically. So this is still a very early career Juan Soto, and being numbered below 600, not that easy to find. So happy to have that in a PSA 9. Probably, at least at one point, the biggest card in this little 6-card throwback release is this one, the Fernando Tatis Jr. rookie card. I've parted with most of my Tatis cards. I had maybe 6 to 10 decent graded Tatis cards at one point. Kind of let most of those go in sales and flip them into vintage or other things. But I've held on to this one just because, for obvious reasons, I love that Topps Kids set, and I love the throwback to that design. And then the last one that I have, a little bit anticlimactic, also have the Gleyber Torres card for the Yankees. So I think I'm missing Vladdy Jr. has a card in that, and also Cody Bellinger, I want to say. And I think I might have an ungraded Cody Bellinger maybe in the cheese box back here. So just need to track down that Vladdy. And then the following year in 2020, they did another throwback to Topps Kids as part of the Throwback Thursday promotion. And it was done as a riff on this design that we saw on the Jeff Bagwell here. And I have picked up all 6 of these because they're available pretty cheap on, grabbed all 6 of these actually on ComC. And I believe I paid less than $10 for the entire 6-card set. So we have Fernando Tatis Jr. making another appearance. And you can see the only difference here, they've extended the purple color that was only on the inner border on the originals to the entire border of the card. But other than that, basically the same design as the Jeff Bagwell. So let's look at these 6 subjects. Again, their backs are all the same. They're not customized. But we have Fernando Tatis back for an encore. Dustin May rookie card. Seems maybe a little bit dated now. Randy Arozarena rookie card. Your newest Seattle Mariner. Ted Williams, which is pretty cool. I think this one might have cost me maybe $2. One of the more expensive ones out of these 6. But I really, really dig this. Just fun to have a way and go back and enjoy this set all over again. Very fittingly here, the kid, Gary Carter, on a Topps Kids throwback. And then the other kid, affectionately known kid, Ken Griffey Jr. Definitely my favorite of that half a dozen. So that actually does represent the complete 6-card set of the 2020 Throwback Thursday Topps Kids release, and I think those had a print run maybe in the 700s, so a little bit more of those compared to the 2019s that we saw a moment ago. But both cool, and happy to have both those represented in my collection. And then to close off, the last way that I've been enjoying and recollecting this set is the Topps Archives Signature Series release. Now, I've shown these for 1990 Topps and other sets that I enjoy, but for those who are unaware, basically these are one-card packs in this product that contain a buyback of a previously issued Topps card, signed by the athlete, put in a one-touch, and authenticated by Topps and stamped. And in most of those releases, there have been one or two Topps Kids cards that you can track down. Now, unfortunately, these Topps Kids cards from Archive Signatures are usually very low serial numbering and very high demand. Quite a few of the ones I've seen have even been one-of-ones that I just wasn't willing to spend, literally hundreds of dollars on. But I do have 3 here today that I've never shown on the channel, and they're really fun and a fitting conclusion to today's episode. And we're going to start with this one. This is actually the most recent one that I landed, even though it's an older card. This was from the 2015 Archive Signature Series, and it's the John Kruk, I should say, out of 92 Kids, serial numbered to just 13. So you can see, these are tricky buggers. Compared to the flagship Topps and Stadium Club and other stuff that gets included in Archive Signatures, when these Kids cards get included, the print runs always seem to be really, really minimal. And so scored this John Kruk recently for, I think, around $20. And I was really, really happy with that. That one surfaced in a saved search. And of course, these being original Topps Kids cards, just autographed by the athlete, they do have the proper back. So that one's pretty cool. Somebody who I have some great hobby memories of, and just memories of in the game in general. Next one is another one that I just landed recently, and it's from the brand new 2024 Archive Signature Series set. So this has only been out on the market for maybe a couple of months now. Got the Cecil Fielder. And look at that bold, beautiful autograph. This is on the same card design as the 2020 Throwback Thursday set that we looked at, and the Jeff Bagwell that I pulled out of my pack. Just a gorgeous Cecil Fielder. And this one is numbered to just 6 copies. I'm sorry, 8 copies. So I have copy 2 of 8. So pretty tough card to get. This cost me a little bit more than the John Kruk, but was willing to pay up for it because I just love this little mini portion of my collection, and the opportunities to add to it present day are few and far between. So I'm really happy that I was able to get Cecil Fielder from this year's checklist. And then we'll close out the episode with a Hall of Fame autograph from this release, one that I've had probably in my possession since I started my YouTube channel and before, but have never shown it before. Hall of Famer Harold Baines. Obviously not the world's most popular Hall of Famer, but again, getting anybody in autograph format on these Kids cards is tough. And in this case, just 5 copies in existence of this Harold Baines. I have copy 4 of 5 here. And take a look at that back, just so awesome. Great job. I don't know that we'll ever see anything like this again in the hobby from Fanatics. I don't think it's really in their game plan here as they try to 10x the hobby and get into all this other nonsense. I think they've kind of lost their way a little bit, and unfortunately I don't envision any future throwbacks to this set. But for me, it's a fun look back at a simpler time in my life when I was 9 years old, and a simpler time in the hobby as well. There aren't any inserts or parallels or anything in this release. It's just 7 cards and a standard collated set, and it brought me a lot of fun and great memories, and I learned a lot from the backs of these cards as a kid. And so now as an adult, it's really entertaining to try to continue to find creative ways in the forms of autographs and throwback retro cards to enjoy this set that was a formidable part of my collecting youth. So that's a wrap for today. 15 minutes on Topps Kids Baseball from 1992. Really appreciate you tuning in for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And as you know, I'll be back soon with some more sports card content. Till then, enjoy the hobby. See ya.